hope you're well. I'm Laura and welcome to the next lot of Pilates videos. So we're going to start in a nice seated position. You can either be cross-legged, you can have your legs out in front of you, you can have your legs out in front straight or bent like this, whatever's comfortable for you. I'm going to start with my legs crossed just to begin with. And we're just going to come and sit on our sit bones. So really wriggle yourself back to be on your sit bones and then just sit yourself up nice and tall, lengthen up through that spine, through the crown of your head. Just rest your hands on your legs down by your side. And we're just going to do a couple of breaths just to center us and focus us and get us ready. So we're going to inhale through the nose, and as we inhale, we're going to try and really increase, fill up the kind of side of the ribs rather than just lifting the ribs up. So fill up the backs and the side of the kind of lung area. So inhale through the nose and then exhale. And as you exhale, just start to feel the connection between the abdominals and the diaphragm and everything as you start breathing. So let's just do a few more breaths. Good. Start lifting up that pelvic floor, feel that engagement there as well. Let's just do a couple more. One last one, inhale and exhale. Good. Okay, we're just going to take our hands down to the side and we're just going to start to add a little lateral bend here. So exhale, bring yourself back up. Inhale and then exhale. Bring yourself up nice and tall. Just reaching those hands to the side is a little bit further each time. And just starting to be aware of what your body's doing. So try not allowing your body just to crunch forward, trying to really make sure it is a bend to the side. Good. And then when you come back to center, just bring yourself really tall. Good. Okay, let's do one more to each side. Really reaching that arm away, trying to get a good stretch through the side. Coming up nice and tall. And then other side as well, coming back up nice and tall. Okay, from here we're just going to place our hands on our shoulders. So just do a few shoulder circles, warm up the shoulders, start opening up that chest if you've been sat at a desk all day or wherever, maybe a bit of driving, you've just got really kind of crunched up shoulders. So let's open them up and then change direction. Good. Let's just do a few more this way. And then one last one, open up. Good. So just kind of pull those shoulder blades together, pull the shoulders down away from your ear, lengthen up through that neck and that spine. And then we're just going to go into spine twist. So we're just going to inhale, twist around to the side, and then inhale back. Exhale, twist around, drawing that belly in, lifting yourself up nice and tall, and then inhale back to center. Exhale, twist around, making sure your bum and your hips are really grounded and they're not twisting. And then inhale back to center. Good. So as you're doing this, try and just twist a little further each time. Good. Inhale back to center and then exhale, twist around. Good. Keep those hands on those shoulders. Try and keep those shoulders open and down away from those ears. Come back to center. One last time to each side. Good. Okay, nice. Come back to center. Okay, from here we're going to go into spine stretch. So this one we are going to just have our hands out in front. With this one you might find it a bit better just to have your legs out in front of you as well. We're just going to start up nice and tall, and then we're just going to place our hands in front of us, and as we exhale we're going to draw that belly button in towards the spine and reach those hands forwards. Curl that neck in, chin to chest, and really get a sense of stretch through the spine. Inhale, come back up to seated, and then exhale, come forwards again. And with this one, you're really trying to, because the exercise is called spine stretch, you're going to stretch out the spine. So you really try and keep those hips nice and grounded, nice and still, and not really have much movement in the pelvis. So you're trying to get a good curve through the whole of the spine. So really draw that belly button towards the spine as well. Reach those arms forward and then come back up to seated. Nice. Okay, from here we are going to come onto our mat. So I'm just going to spin round. We're going to bring our feet together, knees bent, knees together, and then we're just going to make sure we're nice and sat up on our sit bones as well. And then from here, we're just going to have our hands under our thighs just to begin with. We're going to sit up nice and tall, so lifting up from the crown of our head, opening up that chest and shoulders. And then we're just going to inhale, prepare, and then we're just going to exhale, tuck the tailbone under, curve through that spine, drawing the belly button towards the spine as well. Inhale, hold it here for a moment, have a quick inhale, and then exhale, bring those shoulders to be on top of the hips, and then sit up nice and tall. Relax those shoulders down, keep them nice and open. So exhale, tuck the tailbone under, curve through the spine, drawing that belly button towards the spine as well. And then coming back to bring your shoulders over your hips, and then just lengthening up through the spine. Good. Okay, let's do a few more here. Nice and slowly, really trying to get that curve through the spine. Chin to chest to get the curve as well. And then exhale, bring yourself forwards and lift yourself up nice and tall. Good. Inhale at the top and then exhale, curve through that spine, lengthen those arms. Have an inhale here and then exhale, bring yourself forward and lift yourself up. Good. Okay, one last time. Exhale, curve that spine, tuck the tailbone under. Inhale there and then lift yourself up. Nice and tall. Okay, we are going to progress this on. So from here we're going to do the same. So curving the spine, coming back. And then from there we're just going to take both arms and we're just going to raise both arms up as far as we can before we start to lose that scooped belly button kind of we've got going on. Bring those arms back down, shoulders over hips, and then sitting up nice and tall. So same again, so tuck that tailbone, scoop that belly button towards the spine, belly button to spine. And then take those arms, lift them up over your head if you can. Bring the arms back and then sit up nice and tall. Let's do a couple more there. Good. Nice. Inhale and then exhale. Curve back, belly button to spine. Raise those arms up. Bring them back down. And then come back up and sit nice and tall. Let's do two more. Good. And then one last one. Tuck that tailbone, curve the spine, raise those arms up, bring those arms back down, come forwards and raise up through the spine. Nice. Okay, from here we're going to progress this on again. So similar sort of thing, we're going to tuck the tailbone under, curve back through that spine, and then we're just going to reach behind and actually look towards that hand, so we get a bit of a twist through the spine as well, and we start engaging these oblique muscles as well. Bring that hand back and then bring yourself back up nice and tall. Tuck that tailbone under, curve through the spine. Reach back to the opposite side. Bring the arm back and then sit up nice and tall. Good. Nice. Reaching back, looking at it, and then coming back up. Okay, let's do one more on each side. Tucking that tailbone under, curving, reaching and looking, reaching as far as we can. Coming back and sitting up nice and tall. And one last time, tuck that tailbone under, reach around, and then bring the arm back, shoulders over hips, and then sit up nice and tall. Good. Okay, from here, we're going to just bring our feet hip width apart. Keep those knees nice and bent, and we are going to come down onto our elbows. So hands palms are facing towards our bum. We're going to bring our feet in a little bit more. Feet are going to be hip width apart. And we're just going to tilt the pelvis back and forth, just do a few pelvis tilts, and just to be aware of the range of movement going on in there as well. And then what I want you to do is, just want you to bring yourself to what feels like the middle, like we would when we're standing. So the tailbone is slightly tucked, so we're lengthening that spine as much as possible. We're then going to come to our ribs. We're going to make sure our ribs aren't sticking out and popping out. So just draw those ribs down towards the spine. And then from there, we're going to come up to our shoulders and just make sure that we haven't sunk into our shoulders. So we're going to push ourselves up, open up that chest, and again, lengthening through the crown of the head. And I want the upper body to try and stay as still as possible. So we're going to really engage those deep core muscles to keep the pelvis as still as possible. And then we're also working the shoulders to keep our chest open and chest lifted. So just to begin with, we're going to just slide one leg away. So we're just going to lengthen it, slide the leg away, and then bring the leg back. So nice and gentle movement. But I just want you just to be aware of kind of what your abdominals and what your core is doing, just to kind of keep everything nice and still. So nothing, hopefully, too taxing just to begin with. Good, let's just do a few more here. Try and make this as smooth as possible. Point those toes if you can, just to lengthen the leg as much as possible. And then we're just going to exhale and then inhale, bring the leg back. Exhale the leg away. Draw, work that deep core muscles. So belly button to spine. And then bring that leg back. Good. Let's do one more on each leg. I can't remember if I said that already, but we'll just do another two just to make sure. Good. Extend that leg away, really lengthen it, engage all those muscles, and then bring the leg back. Just check in with the shoulders. Have you sunk down? If you have, lift up. Just re-engage that core as well. And then from here, we're going to lift one leg at a time, and then lowering it back down. So we're kind of lifting one leg up into the classic tabletop position, and then we're lowering it back down. So as you do this, exhale, lift up, keep that pelvis and those hips really still. Have an inhale at the top, and then exhale, lower back down. Exhale, lift up, inhale at the top, and then lower back down. Good. Just check in with those shoulders and that spine, lengthen through. Good. Let's do 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and one last one. Good. Okay, from here we're going to take this upper level. We are going to bring one leg up into tabletop and then bring the other leg up into tabletop. So there's going to be much more of a challenge in the core to keep those hips nice and steady. Now we've got both legs up in the air. Just quickly checking with those shoulders. Have you sunk into those shoulders? If you have, then lift up. And then we're going to do the same. We're just going to do classic toe taps. So exhale, lower. And then exhale, bring the leg back up. Change legs. And as you're in this position, you can actually keep an eye on what your core and what your tummy is doing. So if your tummy starts to bulge at any point, then either re-engage those abdominal muscles, those deep core muscles, or don't lower your leg as far. So even if you're only lowering your leg to kind of halfway, or not even halfway, that's absolutely fine. Just lower it as far as you can, and then you can work from there. Good. Okay, let's just do 4 more. 4, 3, 2, good, and 1. Okay, bring those legs up, reset in tabletop, and then this time we're just going to extend the leg away. So straighten the leg out on the diagonal, and then bring the leg back in. Extend away, and then bring the leg. Good. Check in with those shoulders. Nice, let's do 4 more. 3, 2, and one last one. Good. Okay, let's just rest those legs down. I don't know, take the legs to the side, just give them a little breather, a little rest. Take them out in front, give them a shake. And then from here, we're going to lift them back up into tabletop. So we're going to do a slightly more challenging exercise now. So zip those legs together, engage the core, and then we're just going to draw circles on the ceiling with the knees. Now as you do this and you extend the legs away, your core's going to want to, it's going to be really challenged. So really draw that belly button towards the spine and just try and keep the leg movement as smooth as possible. Okay. So I've been doing one way and then changing direction. But you can do whatever you like. Okay, let's do 4 more. So 4, 3, 2, and one last one. Good, nice one. Okay, let's lower the legs down. We are just going to slide myself along the mat and roll ourselves down. Just draw those knees in towards the chest. Just make sure everything feels okay. Give them a hug. Rock from side to side. And then just give the legs a circle. Good. Okay. From here, level the legs down onto the mat. Feet hip width apart. I'm just going to sort myself out quickly. Just bring those feet slightly closer than they normally would be, because we're going to go into some bridges. So just bring those feet a little bit closer, we'll just protect the back. Relax your hands down either side. And just before we go into those bridges, I just want to do some more pelvic tilts. So just tilt the pelvis back and forward. Find that range of motion through the lower spine. Good. And then just bring yourself to the middle. So hopefully there should be a bit of a gap between you and the mat. And your core should hopefully be able to feel those core muscles working to hold yourself there. Okay, so from here, let's just check our shoulders are away from our neck. Our neck's nice and long and our chin is slightly tugged. We're going to inhale, and as we inhale, we're going to imprint the lower back into the mat. Tuck the tailbone under, and then we're going to exhale, and as we exhale, we're going to squeeze the glutes, squeeze those hamstrings, and roll off back up off the mat, one vertebrae at a time, coming up into that nice bridge position. You should be able to look down, and hopefully that should be all in one line from your shoulders to your knees. Inhale at the top, and then exhale, roll back down, one vertebrae at a time. Bring yourself into that nice reset position, so nice neutral position that we had before. Just check to see if you've got a nice gap between yourself and the mat. And then inhale, imprint, and then exhale, rolling up. Really tuck that tailbone under, and that will really fire up the glutes and the hamstrings as you do this. And then exhale, roll back down, resetting the vertebrae one at a time. Good. Reset, and then inhale and exhale and roll up. Good. Just check in with your feet when you get to this top position. Does it feel like the weight's evenly distributed between them? Try and get that weight nice and evenly distributed. And then exhale and roll back down. Good. Reset. One last time. And roll down. Good. Okay, from here we're going to carry on with the roll-ups into the bridge, but we're going to progress it slightly once we get to the top. So this time we're going to roll up, and then if you want to challenge yourself, once you get to the top, squeeze those glutes, and then we're just going to raise both heels up off the mat. So not much for movement, but as you do this, I want you to try and keep those hips really level, really stable. And the movement's going through the legs. Obviously there will be a bit of up-down movement as you lift your heels up and down off the mat, but try and not allow there to be any kind of twisting or rotation. One last time, and then roll back down. Reset into neutral. Good, then coming up again. Again, let's just lift those heels for another 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Exhale, roll yourself back down. Reset. Inhale, imprint the spine and roll up. Good. And then when you're ready, when you've got those glutes engaged, let's lift those heels for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. And then roll down. Okay, one last time. Rolling up. Get to that top position, and then when you're ready, start lifting those heels for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Exhale, roll back down. Good, just draw those knees in towards the chest. Now, if you want to, we are going to progress this again. So, if you don't fancy it, then you don't have to, but just reset yourself. So bring those feet nice and close to the bum. Find that nice neutral position. And then, this time when we go up, we're going to roll up off the mat. And we're going to lift one leg up, but we're going to keep bend in at the knee. So you're going to hinge at the hip, take one leg up into the air, and then you're just going to lower that leg down, tap the floor and lift it back up. As you do this, keep these hips nice and level. One last time, tap the floor, and then lower that leg back down, and then lower yourself back down to the mat. Reset that nice neutral position, and then roll yourself back up. Now if you don't fancy this, then you can just stick with those heel lifts. And please do, if you don't want to do the lifting of the leg. But this time we're going to lift the other leg up. Keep those hips nice and level, and then lower and lift the leg. 2, 3, and 4. Good. Lower that leg back down, and then roll yourself back down the mat. Reset to a nice neutral position. Inhale, imprint, and then exhale. Roll yourself up. Okay, change legs again. So the first leg that we did, lift and lower for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, lower that leg, and then lower your back down to the mat. One last time. Rolling yourself back up into that bridge position. When you're ready, lift the leg up off the mat and tap the floor. 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one. 1. Good. Bring that leg down and then roll yourself back down to the mat. Good. Just again, draw those knees in towards the chest. Give them a hug. Make sure everything feels okay. Nice. Okay, from there, we are going to come onto our sides. Just going to slide up my mat again before I fall off it. And we're going to prop our head in our hand. Our feet are going to be on top of each other, our knees are going to be on top of each other, and our hips are going to be on top of each other. We're going to be lifting up through the waist, but I also want you to make sure that this part of your waist stays nice and long, so the hip doesn't just kind of collapse into your waist. That stays nice and long, and your legs stay nice and long. And then also your neck stays nice and long, so you don't just collapse and relax into your hand either. So everything's still working. Hand in front just to begin with, just to help with balance, and we're just going to lift and lower that leg. So as you lift it up, the hip will automatically come closer to your waist, but when you take that leg back down, try and keep that leg long and the waist really long as well. Okay, let's do another 4, 1. Good. Now from here, what we're going to do, we're going to point the toes. So tap the ankle or the foot, tap the knee, and then lift the leg, straighten and lower. So tap the foot, tap the knee, lift and lower. Tap the foot, knee, straighten and lower. Okay, just check in with those hips. Keep those hips nice and stacked. So try and not open those hips to the sky. Okay, let's do another 4, 3, 2, and one last one. Good. Okay, now from here, we are going to take that top leg up. So lift it up so it's in line with that hip. And then we're going to just bring the leg forward, flex the foot, and then take the leg behind us. So bring the leg forward, sweep it forwards, and then sweep it back. Okay, so just check in with that waist as you're doing that. Make sure it's still lifted and it's still nice and engaged. And check in with your neck as well. Is that still working? Okay, let's do another 3, 2, and one last one. And 1. Okay, good. Bring that leg back to the center, and then this time we're going to bring the leg forward, tap the ground in front 3 times, and then take the leg back and tap 3 times. Good. Bring the leg forward, tap 3 times, and then take the leg back and tap 3 times. Tap 3 times. Tap 3 times. Good. Nice. Just check in with that waist. Is it still lifting up? Has your shoulder and head just collapsed into your neck? Take that leg back. And then one last one. Bring the leg forward. Tap 3 times. I just did 2 then. And then tap behind 3 times. Good. And then bring that leg on top. Okay. This little bit is a bit of fun. So we're going to lift both legs up. You can either have your hand on your hips if you are really good, if you really want to challenge balance, or your hand in front. But we're just going to kind of scissor the legs. So sweep the legs opposite in front and behind. And just nice controlled. Test that balance. Hand on hip if you want. And we'll just do another 2 and 1. Woo. Good. Lower those legs down. And then bend the legs. Just check that your feet are in line with your bum as you do this one. Hips again are stacked and they stay stacked, and you're still lifting up through that waist, and you're still nice and long through the spine. Okay, good. And then from there, we're just going to open and close. So push those heels together as you do this. Keep these hips on top of each other. Don't allow the hips just to open. And then by keeping them on top of each other, you'll really work your glutes. So let's go for another 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Okay, from here we're just going to lift the feet up off the floor. Again, still pushing those heels together, keeping those hips nice and stacked, but just still doing the climb, so opening and closing. For another 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, last little bit. So open and extend the leg and then bring the leg back. So open, extend, bring it back. And we've got another 4, 3, 2, and one last one. Good. Relax those legs down. Give the bum a little pat if it's a bit sore. Straighten out that bottom leg and then keep that top leg nice and bent. Relax yourself down. If you've got a cushion and you want to put a cushion on your head at this point, then go for it. But we're just going to twist around, open our chest up towards the ceiling. So we're getting a nice little twist through the spine. And hopefully you should get a nice stretch down the side of the leg as well. That should hopefully just release anything there. Bring those arms back. together, and then exhale and open up. This time trying to just open up that chest a little more. Again, keeping those hips nice and stacked. Good. Bring those hands back, and then I'm just going to spin around and we do the other side. So, lying down on the mat, just legs on top of each other to begin with. Ooh, trying to get comfy. Okay, feet on top of each other, knees on top of each other, and hips are staying on top of each other. Hand in front just to help with the balance. And then just to begin with, we're going to lift and lower. Okay, so lifting up through that waist, same kind of cues as before. Keeping that spine nice and long, not allowing your head just to completely collapse into your hand. And we'll just do 2 more here. 1, keeping this waist nice and long as well when you bring that leg back down. Good. Okay, now from here, we're going to tap the ankle, tap the knee, and extend that leg away. Tap the ankle, tap the knee, straighten, and lower. Again, just check those hips, make sure they're nice and stacked. If you want to have your hands on your hips so that you can keep better around those hips, then go for it. And we'll do another 4. 3. 2. One last one. Ooh, really feeling that one. Okay, from here, we're going to bring that top leg up, and we're just going to sweep it forward, flex the foot, and take it back. Nice. Again, just trying to make sure that it's nice and long through that waist. The waist is lifted up off the mat. And I'll just do another 4. 3. 2. And one last one. Forward and then back. Okay, now this time what we're going to do is we're going to do the taps. So bring the leg forward, tap 3 times, and then take the leg back and tap 3 times. Forwards, and then back. As you do this, try and make sure that it's not just your foot that's doing the tapping, it's the whole leg. If it's just the foot, then you're kind of cheating. So make sure, try and keep that foot nice and still, and lift and 3 times, lower the leg. Come on, I'm trying to cheat a lot today. Good. Okay. And then one last time. Bring that leg forward, tap 3 times, and then take it back and tap 3 times. Good. Okay. Nice little balance challenge for us now. So lift both legs up and then just scissor those legs opposite directions. Again, just trying to, if you really want to challenge your balance, hand on hip, and then keep those legs sweeping. Try and keep it as smooth as possible. And then just do 2 more. 1 and 2. Good. Lower those legs down. Bend those legs, feet in front of the bum. Just check in with that waist. Make sure it's still being lifted up off the mat. And just also make sure that you haven't just sunk into your arm either. And then from there, you're going to lift and lower that leg. Open and close. Pushing those heels together. Exhale, open. Inhale, close. 2 more here. 1 and 2. Good. Then just raise those heels up off the mat again. Keep pushing them together. And then open and close. Check those hips. Make sure they're nice and stacked still. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. And then final progression on this. So open, extend, close, and then close. Open, extend, bring back and close. Again, another 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Lower those legs down, straighten out that bottom leg, keep that top leg nice and bent. And then from there, you're going to have both hands together and then twist and open up the chest towards the ceiling. Good. Bring those hands back. And then open up again. Exhale. Try and open up that chest a little further. Good. And then bring it back. Nice. Okay, from here, we're just going to roll over onto our front. And we are going to bring our feet so that they are, toes are on the edge of the mat. Heels are rolling in. Bring yourself into the middle of your mat, unlike me. It's very much over to one side. And then bring your hands into this nice box position. Forehead on the mat to begin with. And then from there, you're just going to exhale. Slide those shoulder blades down your back. Keep those hands on the mat, on the ground just to begin with. And just try and lengthen through that spine. Inhale, bring it back. Exhale. So as you do this, exhale, draw that belly button towards the spine. Should feel the pubic bone in the mat as well. And the whole time as you're doing this, you're trying to lengthen through the crown of your head and slide those shoulder blades down your back as well. Good. Nice. Okay, so the best kind of visualization for this is try and imagine you're a tortoise sticking your head out its shell. So even though we are lifting, try and think of more of a lengthening and a kind of, lengthening rather than just lifting up. We'll do 2 more here. And then one last one. Good. Okay, then from here we're going to progress this on. And if you don't want to do this, then just stick with what we were doing. But bring your hands just to be under your shoulders. And then from there, we're going to just inhale, prepare, and then exhale. We're going to push the mat away, sliding the shoulder blades down your back, belly button towards your spine, and then inhale, come back down. Nice and slowly, nice and controlled. Draw that belly button towards the spine, and then lower yourself back down. Try and keep those elbows nice and tucked in. Good. Nice. And then let's just do one more. Here. Good. Lower yourself back down. Let's just bring those legs straight back behind you. And then take those arms out in front of you. And we're going to go into just raising opposite arm, opposite leg up off the mat. So forehead on the mat. Inhale, prepare. I'm just going to keep my head up so that you can hear me. Inhale, prepare. And then we're just going to exhale. Float the opposite arm, opposite leg up off the mat. And then change sides. So as you're doing this, you're exhaling. Those arms and legs, imagine they're being pulled away from you. So they're lengthening. And because they're lengthening, they're then floating up off the mat. Good. Lower them back down with control. Don't just allow your legs and your arm just to drop back to the mat. And try and keep that hip really grounded in the mat as well. Try not to allow it to kind of twist open as you lift that leg up. Okay, let's do one more on each side. So 1, and the last one. Good. Now from here we're going to progress this on a bit. So what we're going to do is, just to begin with, we're just going to float the arms and legs up off the mat at the same time. So inhale, prepare, forehead on the mat, and then exhale, float yourself up into a kind of banana shape. That's what you're kind of going for. Inhale, lower yourself back down. So exhale, inhale back down. So try and keep those arms nice and long. Try and have them touching your ears as you lift them up. And try and also keep those legs really long, so really engaged. Float the arms and legs up off the mat and then lower back down. Let's do 4 more. 3, 2, and one last one. Good. Okay, so we're going to go back to swimming, and we are going to float the arms and legs up off the mat, and then we're going to pulse the arms, so like you're kicking your arms and legs. So inhale, prepare, and then exhale, float the arms and legs up, and then just start pulsing those arms and legs for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax down. And then exhale up and start kicking. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Now from there, we're going to bring our knees wide to the edge of the mat, bend our feet up and bring our feet together. Your hands are going to be placed on top of each other, and you're just going to rest your forehead on your hands. And then from there, we are going to inhale, prepare, and then we're going to exhale. Push those heels together and lift those knees up off the mat. Lower them back down, and then push them up off the mat. So as you do this, you're going to be really firing up these glute muscles. Really exhale, draw that belly button towards the spine. We'll do another 4, 3, 2, and one last one. Okay, keeping those knees nice and wide. This time we are just going to extend one leg away and then bring it back. Extend one leg away, then bring it back. So as you do this, try and point the toe as it goes away. Flex the foot as it comes back. And as you do this and as you extend that leg, engage all those muscles. And like we were doing earlier when the legs and arms were floating up off the mat, try and float the leg up off the mat as well. So straighten, float, and then bring it back. Let's do one more on each side. Good. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to progress this and combine those 2 exercises together. So we're going to lift the legs up off the mat. Keep your head on your forehead, your head on your hands, and then we're just going to extend one leg away, bring it back, and then the other leg. Same other side, and then one last time, bring that leg back and relax down. Inhale, and then exhale, float those legs up. Extend one leg, bring it back. Other leg, 2 more, and one last one. Good, and then relax down. Bring those legs straight behind you, and then falling off my mat again. And then just to begin with, we are going to take our hands behind us, relax our hands on our lower back just to begin with. Inhale, prepare. As we do this, bring the legs up, try and kick the bum And then as we straighten the legs, we're going to open up that chest, point those toes, and then come back down. Bend those legs in, try and kick the bum, and then extend the legs and open up the chest. Good. Let's do 2 more, 1 more on each side. One last one. Good. Now from there, we're just going to place our hands under our shoulders, tuck our feet under and just push ourselves up. And we are going to have our knees under our hips, hands under our shoulders. And we're going to tuck our tailbone under, squeeze those glutes, and then have that curve come all the way up through the spine to our head. And then come back to a nice flat back. And then again, squeeze those glutes. Try and have the curve coming up as like a kind of ripple effect, so starting from the tail all the way up to your head. And then come back to a nice flat back, and then one last time. Good. Then, good. Okay, then from there we're just going to come back down. We've done quite a lot of work on the glutes, so we're just going to give them a quick stretch. So just bring that knee, bend the knees and then bring one ankle up onto the opposite leg. Feed those hands through, grab behind that leg, and you should hopefully get a nice stretch into the glutes. If you want a little bit more, then you can just push this leg away and that should just increase it as well. Hold that there for a few more moments. And then relax and change sides. Just to begin with, feed both hands through, grab behind, make sure that all feels okay. And then if you want a bit more, push the knee away and then pull that leg towards you. That should just increase it. Good. And then relax down. And then from there, we're just going to roll over onto our sides. And then coming up onto our knees. We're just going to lean forwards, get a nice hip flexor stretch, because they were really worked right at the beginning as well. And if you want more, come all the way down and come into the mat as well. Good, and then from there, push yourself up, straighten out that front leg. Keep your toes into the mat just to begin with. Hold that there. And then bring those toes up towards the ceiling. Good. And then just change sides. Ooh. Find your balance. Okay, lean into that hip flexor stretch. And then when you're ready, bring your hands down to the mat and bring your arms down. Bring yourself as low as you can, go into the mat. Good. And then push yourself up. Straighten that front leg, weight into the back leg. Keep those toes in the mat just to begin with. And then toes up towards the ceiling. Oh, my legs are tight. Good. And then from there, that's us done. Let's just finish off with a couple of breaths. So inhale, coming out to the wide, bring those ribs out to the side rather than up, and then exhale through the mouth. Inhale, and then one last time. And good, that's you all done. Thanks so much, I hope you enjoyed it. Bye.